watching the midday bilingual newscast on Equinoxe television live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. Thanks for joining us. The first segment with Julian beside. Good morning.
Good morning, Babila Jonathan. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à cette autre édition bilingue du journal sur Equinoxe Télévision. Commençons par les informations venant de la région du Sud-Ouest. C'est un calme précaire qui règne à Boya après les affrontements qui ont opposé l'armée camerounaise aux rebelles sécessionnistes. Selon notre correspondant local, le chef-lieu de la région du Sud-Ouest se vide de ses populations à la suite de l'escalade de tensions survenues précisément dans les quartiers Maï 16, Etine et Mouya. Un peu plus tôt, un homme en tenue a été assassiné à Mouyouka alors que 6 corps sans vie de civils ont été retrouvés en bordure de la route Moutengene-Limbe. Malgré ces violents affrontements, le secrétaire d'État français auprès du ministre de l'Europe et des Affaires étrangères s'est tout de même rendu dans la ville de Boya. Sous forte escorte, Jean-Baptiste Lemoine a échangé avec le gouverneur de la région du Sud-Ouest, avec les membres de la société civile et autorités locales. Des heures plus tôt, il était au palais de l'Unité où il a eu une audience avec le chef de l'État. Le secrétaire français n'a pas évoqué la crise anglophone, mais il s'est tout de même penché sur la coopération France-Cameroun. On fait le point avec Joël Essengue et Gizogo.
À défaut d'être disert sur la crise anglophone et au sujet de son tête-à-tête avec Paul Biya à Etoudi, le secrétaire d'État français auprès du ministre de l'Europe et des Affaires étrangères s'est montré plus loquace au cours de l'audience que lui a accordé le ministre de l'Agriculture.
C'est une visite qui est aussi placée sous le signe du C2D, ce fameux contrat de désendettement et de développement, grâce auquel de nombreuses actions partenariales sont conduites entre le Cameroun et la France dans le monde agricole au sens large.
Sur la question de l'intéressement des jeunes à l'agriculture au Cameroun, Jean-Baptiste Lemoine loue le rôle du CD2 dans ce domaine.
Nous avons eu une évaluation très précise et qui est impressionnante quant aux résultats atteints. Je vois par exemple que plus de 3000 jeunes ont pu, grâce aux actions du C2D, s'installer. C'est un chiffre qui est très important.
Au-delà, l'émissaire français relève qu'il s'est agi d'une occasion de faire un vaste tour d'horizon.
Au-delà du C2D, nous avons évoqué la structuration de nos filières agricoles en France, au Cameroun. Nous avons évoqué aussi les enjeux de pêche liés à la sécurité maritime. Bref, c'était un vaste tour d'horizon.
Pour lui, il en découle tout un écosystème qui consolide la coopération entre Paris et Yaoundé.
Il y a tout un écosystème qui travaille main dans la main, notamment en termes de formation. Vous avez Supagro Montpellier, vous avez des écoles à Nantes qui ont des partenariats ici et qui sont vraiment partie prenante dans la formation des jeunes et la formation agricole. Donc voilà, on a là un beau partenariat.
Point des crises anglophones donc au menu de ces échanges. Peut-être a-t-il réservé le fin mot de Paris dans cette crise à Paul Biya et dans une certaine mesure à ses interlocuteurs dans la partie anglophone où il s'est rendu avant de quitter le Cameroun.
Sur le plan social, le centre des jeunes handicapés des ECA vient d'être réhabilité. Les jeunes de cette localité disposent désormais d'une structure viable pour leur hébergement et la poursuite de leurs études. Je vous propose à cet effet la réaction du ministre des Affaires sociales au micro d'Equinoxe Télévision.
Enfants qui sont des enfants à besoins spécifiques, des enfants qui ont des problèmes, des enfants handicapés. C'est pour ça que nous parlons d'année éducative. C'est une tradition que nous voulons inculquer désormais. Donc à la fin de chaque année, nous allons choisir une de nos structures pour clôturer l'année. Nous avons élaboré une stratégie, c'est la stratégie de l'entrepreneuriat social. Il est question aujourd'hui de mutualiser les actions. L'action de cette œuvre sociale privée et l'action sociale de notre partenaire pour nous accompagner dans notre bataille et notre lutte contre l'exclusion sociale.
L'Agence de la norme et de la qualité, à l'épreuve de la crise anglophone et de son arrimage à la nouvelle loi portant statut général sur les établissements publics. Ces préoccupations ont été débattues par les administrateurs avec le ferme engagement de faire de la Nord une structure performante et compétitive. Marcelin Ganso.
2018 marque la fin de la période transitoire accordée aux entreprises et établissements publics pour se conformer à la nouvelle loi. Cette loi qui porte statut général des entreprises et établissements publics inaugure une nouvelle ère, celle de la gestion basée sur les résultats. L'Agence des normes et de la qualité n'a d'autre choix que de s'y conformer.
Cette loi qui vient ainsi abroger un texte vieux de 18 ans privilégie la logique de performance dans la mesure où elle consacre la gestion axée sur les résultats des ressources publiques avec l'introduction du budget programme. En d'autres termes, c'est la fin de la gestion basée sur les moyens. Nous avons désormais l'obligation de mettre l'accent sur la performance.
Cette mise en conformité exige de la part de tous les acteurs un engagement et un sens élevé de responsabilité. La faiblesse des maillons de la chaîne pouvant plomber les résultats escomptés.
C'est pour cette raison que le contrôleur financier et l'agent comptable doivent pleinement jouer leur rôle, contrôler la régularité des opérations financières et la sincérité des états financiers pour le premier et contrôler la régularité des autorisations de recettes et de paiements ordonnées par le directeur général pour le second. Cet appel concerne également les représentants de nos deux tutelles techniques et financières au conseil d'administration. Ils doivent répercuter fidèlement et de vive voix les orientations de leurs différentes hiérarchies lors des sessions du conseil. Il s'agit ici de façonner un travail collectif pour plus d'efficacité.
Une efficacité et une performance d'autant plus recherchées que la Nord subit de plein fouet les affres de la crise anglophone. Et ce sont les consommateurs qui trinquent.
L'insécurité générée par la crise anglophone dans les régions anglophones ne facilite pas l'accomplissement des missions de l'Agence des normes et de la qualité dans ces régions frontalières. Le respect des normes et la qualité des produits proposés aux consommateurs n'est pas absolument garanti. En dépit de ces qualités, nous devons maintenir la dragée haute pour un retour à la paix dans cette partie du pays.
Les travaux se sont achevés sur une note positive concernant l'Organisation africaine de la normalisation, dont le directeur général de la Nord, Charles Boto Angon, vient d'hériter de la présidence tournante.
À présent, la deuxième partie de ce journal en langue anglaise avec vous, Babila Jonathan. Good day once again.
Thanks, Julian Bed. We say thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us into the second segment of this edition of the midday bilingual newscast on Equinoxe television. An uneasy calm now reigns in Cameroon's southwest regional chief town, Boya, after the gun battle yesterday between separatist fighters and elements of the National Armed Forces. There was commotion and tension in the city of Boya, with inhabitants deserting the street to seek refuge in their homes. Derek Jato files in details from Boya.
Nathan, this particular day of the month of June 2018, this afternoon at about 2 p.m. over here in Boya, the Southwest Regional Capital, we met very tense that started with gunshots that were witnessed by 16 men getaway into Boya, of course, from Littoral region, or the men getaway in Southwest Regional Capital. Well, I cannot tell you vividly, but what exactly transpired, but it is on record that gunmen appeared on the street of Mile 16 at 2 p.m. this particular Friday and opened fire. Of course, there was a counter response from the security forces that were also alerted, and it lasted for over 20 minutes. But what is making the place more and more tense now, it is the population in town, because it was during an afternoon. The town was busy as usual. People ran from their offices, people ran from their shops, people abandoned their merchandise and escape for safety. People are, as we speak, Babila Jonathan, people are leaving Boya now, thinking that places like Douala or out of Boya will be safer for them. At the moment, Buya was equally informed about a French delegation that was coming to town. It took an extra security measure for that delegation to drive into the Southwest Government Office because the road was blocked, and it needed a lot of reinforcement for that road to be open. But finally, the French delegation is in town, as we were informed. Of course, we don't know vividly how long they will be in the Southwest Regional Capital, or what will be on the table for discussion. But as we speak, Buea is saying, and what we are seeing now this evening in Buea, security reinforcement is at the center.
And lawyers who visited the Ambazonian leaders, Sisiku Ayuk Tabe and others detained at the State Defense Secretariat in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, have urged government to transfer their case file to the military court in Yaoundé for trial to begin immediately. They decried their incommunicado detention in violation of the country's law. We have details in this report compiled by Innocent Azi.
Detained in secret for close to 6 months now at the State Defense Secretariat in Yaoundé since their arrest and extradition from Nigeria to Cameroon. First information about the Ambazonian leaders, Julius Sisiku Ayuk Tabe and co. has been made public. Led by Akere Muna, lawyers of the incarcerated Ambazonian leaders, after pressure on government, succeeded to have access to see Julius Sisiku Ayuk Tabe and others.
La rencontre a bel et bien eu lieu.
The encounter successfully took place, but we wish access to meet them was granted us earlier enough and not after 6 months.
Pu être vu déjà un peu plus tôt.
From their discovery, Julius Sisiku Ayuk Tabe and his collaborators of the said Ambazonian Republic are in healthy condition.
Physiquement, il n'apparaît pas que
physically, they don't look traumatized. They are safe and okay in all forms.
Apparemment en bon état de forme.
As added by Barrister Claude Asira, the leaders are as well morally upright, despite the fact that they have been detained in secret for long and denied enchantment and interaction with people of the outside world. He says the leaders are a little bit worried about their loved ones.
Ils doivent nécessairement, au-delà de ce que eux-mêmes peuvent penser, être atteints.
The visiting lawyers denounced government's gross violation of the law through the renewal of the 15-day custody as a means to keep them in detention. Generally, when there is renewal, in certain conditions, there are 2 maximum. But the law does not tolerate series of renewals. In this case, we have recorded consecutive renewals.
Dans tous les 15 jours, vous aviez un renouvellement du délai de la garde à vue.
On the subject of the next procedure of this affair, the lawyers from the Muna's cabinet believe that the police phase has faded out and for the military court to take over and begin hearings. They expect that the case file concerning the Ambazonian leaders be channeled to the military tribunal as fast as possible.
Entrer dans la phase judiciaire dans les tout prochains jours, que très rapidement le dossier devrait être transmis au tribunal militaire pour le début des audiences.
The lawyers, however, refused to make a comment on the components they will use to defend Julius Sisiku Ayuk Tabe and co. when they appear in court. They also expect that an extrajudicial action is not taken against the said Ambazonian leaders.
And pressure from the international community continues mounting on the Cameroon government to solve the deepening crisis. The crisis was on the table of the United States Congress during a recent subcommittee hearing. Franklin Mwabi files in details.
In the deepening Anglophone crisis continues streaming from the international community. The U.S. Congress, in a subcommittee hearing, examined facts and figures about the happenings in the 2 Anglophone regions of Cameroon.
An estimated 160,000 people have been displaced within Cameroon, and over 21,000 Cameroonians have fled to neighboring Nigeria as refugees.
Violence, be it from secessionist government forces or armed bandits, took the lives of 108 people from the December 31st through April 30th of this year.
We have heard of security forces being attacked as well as attacking. We've heard of schools being burned down. And I really wish that the government would see that a heavy-handed crackdown on civil liberties, especially in regard to the freedom of assembly and speech, only served to exacerbate tensions and escalate conflict.
Witnesses from Anglophone Cameroon told the Congress that the root cause of the crisis began in the 1990s.
That Anglophone movement started to grow in the 90s. It still grew and it gathered some intensity. And what happened in 2016 was just another phase of the movement when the teachers and the lawyers summed up their grievances in a request to restore the state of Southern Cameroons. The administration of Paul Biya responded the way it responds very often, with repression and killing. If this is not genocide, I don't know how it would describe genocide. It's genocide going on in Cameroon. And when the international community failed Rwanda, and we are about to fail the people of former Southern Cameroons, I think we need to rise and see what's going on and hold the Biya government to accountability and listen to the cry of the people of Southern Cameroons for freedom, for an independent Southern Cameroons. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
After raising these issues repeatedly, the U.S. Congress describes what they consider as unsatisfied response from the Biya's government.
Our ambassador, Peter Barlin, is consistently and persistently raising these issues. We also raise issues from Washington, not only with the Cameroonian government and mission officials here, but also raising this directly with President Biya and his government at all levels.
And how does he respond when we raise it?
Well, right now is that the response is not to the level that we expect and demand. And that's the issue, is that we need to be more consistent and persistent in addressing this.
The U.S. Special Team on the crisis have condemned barriers to investigations on the crisis put in place by the Yaoundé administration, making the work of the International Inquiry Team very difficult.
Right now we're able to get access to prisoners that are held in the Ministry of Justice. But what about the other prisoners held in, let's say, other types of detention centers? We need to have 100% access across the board, across the country. There cannot be any opening.
After hearing from the English-speaking Cameroonians,
and let the United States call for an international mediation to resolve the crisis going on in Southern Cameroons to prevent further atrocities and genocide. And for these negotiations to be effective, we believe the following conditions must be met. All those arrested in connection with the crisis must first be released. Talks should take place in a neutral venue. The mediator must be acceptable to both sides, and negotiations must include addressing the root causes of the crisis and self-determination for the people of former British Southern Cameroons in accordance with UN Declaration of Granting Independence of Colonial Countries.
The U.S. subcommittee sent out a message to the government and Southern Cameroonian fighters.
The government must recognize that it's facing a real national crisis and that the international community is watching. And activists must realize that peaceful, nonviolent protest is the only way to get people to hear their cause. All sides need to be prepared to engage in an inclusive dialogue. Given the depth and severity of citizens' grievances, a holistic approach is needed that will address issues of governance, security, and civic engagement. I certainly encourage the region and international partners to be prepared to assist on this front.
The session ended without a vote due to frequent interruptions from the participants. However, the subcommittee hearing in the United States of America on the crisis in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon was adjourned to a later date.
In the report coming up next, we're going to show you another ugly side of underdevelopment affecting several parts of the Republic of Cameroon, from the big cities to the hinterlands. Inhabitants are lamenting over their deplorable living conditions, and one of such areas affected by chronic underdevelopment is the Ngoro subdivision in the central region of the country. For me, Armstrong Sander now paints the bleak picture of Ngoro subdivision.
The long, difficult and challenging journey begins here at the banks of River Gerima, linking the Mbam and Kim to the Mbam and Inobo divisions in the central region of Cameroon. For more than 1 year, it has been an uphill task to cross to the other side of the river because the ferry has not been operational till date. The weight of age and overusage caused the ferry to sink. It has remained inside the water for more than 1 year now. This has brought economic hardship and untold difficulties to the surrounding population. If not of this white man's thing, we will not be existing as of now. These mothers will never be able to cross. The only available means to cross the river is by canoe, and the cost is not affordable to many inhabitants of the 2 administrative units who depend on it. Traveling across River Gerima requires a lot of patience. The travelers have to wait, and sometimes for hours, for a canoe to be available before reaching to the other side of the river. Reaching Ngoro subdivision of Mbam and Kim division, you are welcomed by another ordeal, the deplorable state of the road. Because of this and the absence of other social amenities, Nyamongok and other villages in the subdivision are suffering. A health center like ours does not even have a nurse. The girl you saw there is paid by the population of this village. I thank them for their courage. If not, the health center will be closed down by now. The situation in Bengue, another village in Ngoro subdivision, is worst. The lack of basic necessities is acute. Like Nyamongok and Bengue, Ngorogima is also suffering from chronic underdevelopment. In this village, developmental effort of the population is hampered by a wall of difficulties. The villagers complain of the lack of farm-to-market roads, no bridge linking them to the neighboring villages, and no health facility.
Et nous sommes des agriculteurs. Nous travaillons.
First of all, we do not have roads. We are farmers. To evacuate our produce to the market is impossible. In the health domain, it is not easy. We go for 22 kilometers to get our patients treated in Bafia.
Dans le domaine de la santé aussi.
Besides the social challenges, drug abuse is another problem affecting mostly young people and their families. In general, life in most localities in Ngoro subdivision of Mbam and Kim division, central region of Cameroon, is more of a bitter pill, just too difficult to swallow. The people living here feel abandoned by their elite and the government. To these men and women, President Paul Biya...
Gentlemen, for staying with us, that's it for this edition of the Midday Bilingue Newscast. More news will be coming your way at 8 p.m. Julien Bert.
Exact, Babila Jonathan. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est la fin de cette édition bilingue du journal. Restez en compagnie de nos programmes.